So hi everyone, I'm Sara Toledano. I'm the CEO of Sycai Medical. Thanks for having me today. And as Simon said, we are a company that applies AI specifically to radiology and for early detection of cancer in the abdomen. And maybe the first thing that you are thinking is that you have already heard about several solutions using this technology, and that's true. Several companies are trying to help radiologists, but that's because radiologists need help and they need it right now. Well, for those who are still skeptical, I have some facts. I would like to start with an overview of the situation in Spain, that I think it's very similar in the rest of Europe. According to SERAM, the Spanish Society of Medical Radiology, the situation of radiology departments is critical. Most radiology departments are 15–20% shortfall. There are up to 50% lack of radiologists in some hospitals, especially in countryside areas, and this shortfall is expected to increase during the next years. And of course, this has an impact on the assistance capacity and the health of the population. Besides that, in the last decade, the number of images produced by a scan has increased 5 times. However, the number of radiologists analyzing these images has not increased. And that's one of the reasons why almost half of radiologists are reporting signs of burnt out. And with an estimation of average diagnostic error rates ranging from 3 to 5%, there are approximately 40 million diagnostic errors involving imaging worldwide every year. So the potential to improve diagnostic performance and reduce patient harm by identifying and learning from these errors is huge. Now, I think the debate of AI replacing radiologists is no longer on the table. In fact, in world of radiologists, for example, Dr. Galvez Moya, artificial intelligence will not replace radiologists, but radiologists who use AI will replace those who do not. Well, and that's what Sycai bringing to the table. That's what I'm about to tell you in the next 5 minutes. As I said, we are working to detect early cancer in the abdomen. Our first product, more specifically, focuses on pancreatic cancer, being the only non-invasive tool that assists radiologists in the early diagnosis of pancreatic cancer in 0 clicks. That is very important for us. Well, why pancreatic cancer? There are 2 main reasons. In the first place, it is the most lethal one. In fact, if you are diagnosed today, you will have less than 5 months of life expectancy. And secondly, because there are no methods for early diagnosis, and early diagnosis saves lives. For 1 over 3 patients, it means the difference between life and death. For a fully effective early diagnosis, the best option is to detect the precursor lesions when they are still benign, which are present in up to 21% of the population. However, this detection is very resources and time-consuming for radiologists, because it is very difficult to be done, and because only 1% of the lesions will evolve to pancreatic cancer. And knowing in advance which ones will become malignant is nowadays not possible to. Then, well, what happens if we have one of those lesions, we don't know it, and we go for an imaging test? There are 3 possible scenarios. In almost half of the cases, the lesions remain unseen, so the ones ending up in cancer will be diagnosed too late. There are lesions that are detected but not classified, so patients will suffer more invasive tests, biopsies, surgeries, and so on, just to see if the lesions can become malignant in the future. And only a third of the lesions are correctly detected and classified and will be manually monitored by radiologists. So at that point, we thought, how can we help in these 3 situations with only 1 product? Well, thanks to intensively trained neural networks, Sycai Medical detects automatically every lesion present on the image, what allows early diagnosis, classifies the lesions at the first test, avoiding all these extra tests, and automates the surveillance, saving radiologists time. That is also a very important point for us. And as you know, for the users, the best technology is the invisible one, the one that do not affect their daily routine. That's why Sycai is totally integrated in the workflow of the radiologist, allowing the obtention of all the information of every test in 0 clicks for the user, and instant retrieving of all previous tests of the patient, presenting the info in a straightforward table. Right now, radiologists are spending a lot of time to retrieve these past tests manually, and a 3D reconstruction model for a better diagnosis. Sycai Medical can be integrated both in the cloud or locally, always through the PACS. Here you can see a diagram of the information flow when a test is performed, because Sycai Medical analyzes every abdominal test performed. So when a new imaging test is requested to the radiology department and the request has been performed, the images are sent to the PACS and to Sycai server, and Sycai software runs archiving this result. Once the radiologist opens the test for analysis, the report pops up for them to use this information in the diagnosis with no extra clicks and no waiting time, because the processing was done at the time that the imaging was taken. Then the radiologist report, as always, is sent to the doctor that requested the test. Easy, right? Well, regarding the clinical evidence, our results are very promising, although this is confidential information and has not been published yet. For the validation, we had the trust of 8 major hospitals and clinic groups in Spain and Germany, which is great for a non-commercial product. In the trials, we detected every single benign lesion that have evolved to cancer, and that is twice the lesions that radiologists reported. And we also proved that thanks to early classification, Sycai can save tests in 33% of the patients. Just to see an overview of the market of early diagnosis of pancreatic cancer, there are other companies trying to improve the diagnosis process too. That proves a great clinical interest and interest from the industry, especially because some of them are already being reimbursed with rates up to 4,000 euros per test. Of course, our product is much, much cheaper, but just for an overview. Well, a first group of companies can already detect pancreatic cancer only through imaging, but just once the cancer has appeared, it is normally too late. Other group of companies can predict which lesions are going to become cancer through invasive tests, but their solutions are applied on lesions already found by radiologists, which does not solve the problem of the detection. And our solution is the only one assisting radiologists even before they know there is an abnormality in the pancreas, and accompanying them through the whole process of diagnosis and follow-up. We have already received commercial interest from different client segments. On the one hand, of course, the users, for example, hospitals, that will pay an annual fee for the usage. And on the other hand, manufacturers and integrators, for example, PACS companies. We will license them or solution for them to offer more value to their clients. But we do not want to limit it to pancreas. We are already expanding the tool to liver and kidneys, detecting very similar precursor lesions there, because we have the vision of helping radiologists to diagnose early and non-invasively every cancer in the abdomen. We have already patented our technology and validated the tool with several hospitals and clinics in Spain and Europe, as I said. We have worked and we are currently working with PACS companies as GE, BMD, Uriat, or Sectra to make our software compatible with them. This way, we assure that it works as a plug-and-play product with a very easy installation. And this summer, we will obtain the CE mark that will allow us to commercialize the product. But even without it, we have already signed distribution agreements and we have several LOEs. Then after the CE mark, we will start to prepare the FDA approval. Well, in fact, we are already working on our first proof of concept with a hospital in the US. We have an ambitious project, we know that, but we have a great team. And more important, the best medical and corporate advisory boards formed by radiologists, pancreatologists, head of imaging departments, serial entrepreneurs in healthcare, and experts in the radiology market. Well-known doctors that are involved in the project and in the development of the product. In 2 years, we have built a huge ecosystem and several collaborations with different players of the sector across different countries. We have even, as I said, signed distribution agreements when the product is not in the market yet, which make us be very optimistic for the future. Because early diagnosis saves lives and technology is our greatest weapon. So help us build the proper equipment for radiologists to fight pancreatic cancer together. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Again, the audience, so that is on directly to regarding Sycai. Nothing. You are.
I don't know if it's just me, but I can hear you, Simon, not very well.
I can also.
Okay, so it's not just me.
In the meantime, Sarah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good. Let me shortly comment. Really interesting what you guys doing. Always nice to see, the implementation of AI to these kind of solutions, and absolutely agree with you on the early prevention and early detection. we're actually working with similar solution, but for different diagnostics. I just had a question regarding the solution is only software.
Yep, it's only software.
Okay. So you have your own R&D and right.
Yeah, it's so we develop everything. It's in-house, and we patented of course, not the software itself, but the diagnosis method.
Right. So then basically it's easily compatible, let's say, with the current setup at the hospital.
Yeah, that's exactly your point. So we are trying to do the software as much compatible with every PACS as possible, of course, step by step, but we have already worked with several PACS. We integrated there, so a new installation is just a plug and play. And we don't have any viewer, any extra software, any extra anything. So we are just integrated in the current viewer of the PACS of the radiologist. It's just like we could say like an alarm and a pop-up. So that the report with the information that we give is just, so I said, popping up, and the radiologist take this information and perform their report. And that's why we think it's more useful for them, because it's not, as I said, extra click, extra time, extra anything.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Very interesting. And last question: what type of AI do you work with?
Deep learning. So there is a part with neural networks with deep learning, self-developed also, and there is also some AI, big data, sorry, some big data for the classification. So it's like two-part detection and classification, and two different technologies are used, but everything is in the same product.
Okay, perfect. Thanks a lot. Good luck.
Thank you.
Sarah, I have a question. I'm not sure whether I fully understood. You mentioned that you integrated your system already to some existing. I'm not sure what is it that you integrated, because I'm wondering if you're looking also for distributors, would you not then compete if you integrate it and on one side with, let's say, the big scanners or whatever companies, and then on the other hand try to find a distributor for other parts of the business? I'm not quite sure. I couldn't follow that properly.
So what we do is to make the software compatible and integrable in the PACS, that it's the already existing software in the hospital that manage the imaging test, the whole images and archive it and so on. And we make this software compatible with them to facilitate the integration. So, for example, we work with a distributor, and this distributor go to a hospital and they are working with GE PACS, and we are compatible with them. The integration is really easy. So it's just plug and play, it works, it's compatible, the information flows and everything. But for example, for a new PACS that we are not compatible with, so it ideally should not happen, this is a previous step when we have to be compatible with them for the information to flow and everything. That's to avoid to have a vision for our own, a viewer, sorry, for our own.
Okay, thanks.
Good morning. This is Carlos from Brazil. I'm just wondering how this technology, what is the business model for the technology? You integrate it with the hospital system, and but what is the model? You charge a subscription? Is a one-time fee? Is a yearly fee? How does it work?
Yeah, for hospitals, it's a yearly fee for the usage of the software. So we install the software, and so it runs for every abdominal test that it's performed in the hospital, and they pay an annual fee for it. We could have another business models with, as I said, PACS companies maybe, or AI platforms, but essentially is a yearly fee for the usage of the software based on so the price is based on the stations that the hospital has. It's not the same a small hospital as a big one, but it's a yearly fee.
and the hospital pays a yearly fee. You integrate it to their current technology, the MRI, the current system the hospital has, and the evaluation of the image of this information is done by you, or is the software does it by itself? It's a center.
Yeah, the software itself. So it's artificial intelligence that is analyzing the. So our neural networks trained with a lot of previous images. The evaluation is made by the software, and a lot of information is displayed for the radiologists to use it in the reports.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I ask Sarah, this is Rebecca from Integra, where will the data reside?
The prices, you mean?
Oh, the data. So after the diagnosis, will the data reside in the individual hospital's servers, or would that then be hosted somewhere else?
So the data is anonymized in the step of the hospital, and then as our tool is installed, we could say in the PACS, it goes through the PACS, and the information or the report goes back to the doctor, but it's not so the information goes not directly through the PACS. So the information goes just to the viewer of the radiologist, and it's the radiologist who is writing the information in the report. So the information goes not directly through the PACS.
Does it sit within the hospital's servers, or would it go somewhere else? Because there's always patient confidentiality concerns in the hospital on data flow.
Okay, I know what you mean. You mean the image itself, right? Okay.
Right.
Yeah, we have we are working right now with servers in Europe, because we are working, of course, in Europe, still in Europe. We are working with Amazon Web Services, so the data is archived there. Of course, not. So we are not keeping the images. We just analyze it, and it's not longer for us. But the servers have every ERDP protection data and everything. So with the hospitals that we are working till now, there is no problem with the data, with the flow of the data, because it's not servers from Sycai, are servers that are protected with every permissions and so on.
Okay, Ken, thank you.